A Plaguelands media production.
Hey everyone, this is Hugh from Plaguelands Media, bringing you something different today. So, cheers to that. Today, you are going to see the very first Plaguelands Media movie review done with Dr. Luke Carmen and Mr. Ian Van Gammett, who are, of course, absolutely essential parts of the Plaguelands Media crew. The film we decided to watch and review today was the 1985 version of Red Sonja, starring Bridget Nielsen in her breakout role. There's a little bit of Arnold Schwarzenegger in there as well. A fantastic film, but it does have its flaws. So we recorded this basically last night. This is unedited, so it's just us talking nerd shit about a movie. If you enjoy this kind of thing, please leave a comment down below, and we will be doing more of them in the future. But with that said, let's just jump straight into the movie review. No flashy titles, no songs or anything like that. We're just going to get straight into it. So without further ado, here it is. Okay, so this is the first official Plaguelands Media movie review, and as you know from the introduction, we have decided to talk about the 1985 sword and sorcery classic Red Sonja, starring Bridget Nielsen in her cinematic debut, of course, and Arnold Schwarzenegger playing Conan. Keldor, because of copyright issues. Some little Asian kid and some fat guy. So there you go. We'll just get on with the review, what we thought about it, our likes, our dislikes, all of that kind of thing. As you can see, we have here Plaguelands Media crew, Mr. Ian Van Gammett and Dr. Luke Carmen. So, gentlemen, would you like to introduce yourselves before we continue with this?
After you, Luke.
Dr. Luke Carmen here, author, member of Plaguelands Media, and not a film expert at all. So these are all layman opinions and interpretations, but that's me.
I'm Ian Van Gammett, DIPFA, and I draw shit.
Okay, so just straight off the bat, what did we all think of the film itself, knowing full well that this is an old film and we have seen it before? We're actually kind of rewatching this thing in 2026. So for me personally, I freaking loved it. It's Red Sonja, fan of the character, fan of the comics, fan of the novels, fan of the movie. It does have its flaws, don't get me wrong, but I had a good time with it. Yeah, so Luke, what did you think?
All right, okay, so I have a feeling I'm going to be the holdout. I'm going to be the only one here who's going to have a negative overall opinion on this film. But this is going into this. I remember watching Red Sonja as a kid, and I hated it as a kid. I think my basis for that was that I thought it was a shit Conan movie. You know, like that's kind of the low level understanding that I had, and because I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. But not so long ago, I went back and watched Conan the Destroyer for the first time, probably since I was a kid, and I actually found that Conan the Destroyer was a kind of a shit Conan movie too. But I loved that, and so then I thought, well, you know, if my memory wasn't quite right about Conan the Destroyer, maybe when I go back and watch Red Sonja, I'll be surprised. I'll be pleasantly surprised. But in actual fact, no, I was right as a kid. I think this is a shit Conan movie. And what I'm interested in, and I'll see what you guys think, but I am interested whether you guys think of this as like part of a trilogy, even though I know it's not it's literally not a Conan film, but whether you think of it as part of a trilogy of films or not, or whether you just take it as a completely separate thing. But yeah, that's a summation of my impressions watching it recently.
Okay, Ian.
I would agree with Luke in the sense that if you look at it as a trilogy, I know it's not, but if you look at it as a trilogy, he's right. It is the shittest one out of the three. But nostalgic wise, I hadn't seen it in decades. So I was looking for when we decided to do it. I was actually looking forward to going back, just an excuse to watch it, because as you know, the '80s sword and sorcery films are just fucking great.
They're awesome. Like look
Yeah.
at movies like Hawk the Slayer, things
Yeah.
like that. They just
Barbarian Queen, if you want to go down that
Barbarian
route.
the
Yeah.
Deathstalker series.
Yeah.
A lot of those, which I've only recently discovered, by the way. I missed out on a hell of a lot of those. But I agree, it's a golden genre and a golden age.
Shit, yeah. And thinking about it when we were when I was watching it, thinking about especially going to the video store, that VHS cassette, the cover art, the cover art, like you don't get that anymore with even with the fantasy films. It could be the shittest fucking movie you've ever seen, but what would draw you to it is the old "don't judge a book by its cover." Fuck that. That's how you pick your movies.
I can attest to that with a horror film called Blood Diner, which I rented not knowing what it was, and when I put it on, the opening sequence had a guy coming into an American diner, and on the radio, the cop was saying he's got a knife in one hand and his penis in the other. And I thought it was the funniest thing ever. And then I told my mum, and then my mum had all of her friends at the time come into the living room and watch that scene. Like, because that cover was just like so. That's what it was with the sword and sorcery movies. It's the video cover that sells the film.
And obviously back there, like, we'd already seen Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer.
Yeah.
What was it? 85? Was it 85 that read Sonja?
Yeah, 85. Yeah.
85. Yeah. So obviously you see Arnold Schwarzenegger Conan-esque on a cover. Of course you're gonna fucking
and his name actually appears before Bridget Nielsen, even though she's the main character.
That's right. And it's even that opening sequence, I know that you want to talk about, Hugh.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you've got Conan riding around the fucking countryside to a score that would again, I know you want to talk about it. It's confusing as all fuck. Like, is it a Western? Is it a fucking you know?
Well, this is with it,
and he doesn't fucking say anything until like 20 minutes into the fucking movie, and he's lying. Was it your sister's dying? I'll take you to her. Like, fuck off.
I think this is.
And he said,
one of the things is, and this may be true of all three of the classic Conan films, but this is not just a sword and sorcery. It's in a way, it's like a spaghetti sword and sorcery.
It is a spaghetti western sword and sorcery.
Yeah,
You're completely right.
Yeah.
And
I think that the soundtrack in this film makes that just absolutely clear. It's just totally
of course. I mean,
it's weird if you really listen to it, especially towards the end. That I feel that there's elements that sort of mirror some of the Conan ones, but not enough to make it obvious.
Yeah. I think
look at the score of Conan the Destroyer,
Mm-hmm.
which, I mean, that whole like,
Oh, that's right.
and then you get
I,
this, and you're like, okay,
I,
I mean,
I
it's by
certainly
the guy
wouldn't
that did the
buy it
good, the
on
bad, and the ugly.
CD.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ian knows
Weird.
my
I mean,
Ian knows my feelings on two things: the soundtrack to Conan the Destroyer and Midian by Cradle of Filth. He knows my
Oh,
feelings on
yes.
these two records.
Yes.
both
But
classics.
what's your actually? As a little, what is your preferred soundtrack? Conan the Barbarian or Conan the Destroyer?
Conan the Destroyer.
Yeah, I'm the opposite.
Yeah, I can't.
That
I
that that
just.
that orgy, the orgy scene,
Oh,
the music in the orgy scene is just
Yeah, that springs to mind straight away. Straight
fucking
away.
masterpiece.
whenever I hear the word Conan in my mind, it's just. Like,
Yeah, mine's that
I
one
just,
where him and Bob Butter are lifting that fucking uh,
yeah.
that stone door thing.
So if you hadn't noticed already, yeah, the three of us are fucking nerds. Uh,
That's fine.
now, Ian, you pointed out that I wanted to talk about the the opening credit sequence because for those of you that haven't seen Red Sonja, it starts out a little dark with the killing of her family and her sexual assault, shall we say.
Mm.
And then we get Keldor, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, over the credit scene, riding and riding and riding
And right.
and riding. But you might think, oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger can handle a horse very well. No, he can't. It is the most awkward riding sequences I have ever seen in a freaking movie. If this was in a film like Seabiscuit, that horse would have been dead long before the fucking end of the movie. Like,
Well,
he is riding that horse like he's got a butt plug stuck in his asshole and he doesn't know exactly how to handle it without that thing falling out. Like, it is really disturbing to watch those riding sequences.
well, there's a couple of things there that you've hit on, and one of them is, and I want to come back to this, is I've read, I was saying before about how this sometimes people talk about this as a trilogy, apparently.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It was
one of
supposed to be.
it was supposed to be, but I did read it on Wikipedia that there's a fan theory that Calidor or whatever is
Yes.
just Conan's. It's just a pseudonym that Conan
He's in
uses when he's
disguise.
traveling. Yeah. So he's actually still. But the thing I want to come back to on that point is the awkwardness of the Schwarzenegger character. He's not Conan. He doesn't even seem like Conan in the other film. He's literally not, because he's but he doesn't act like him. He's a massive pussy in a way. Like he's not similar to the barbarian Conan at all. But the other thing I wasn't sure, talking about the opening scene where these brutal things happen to Red Sonja, maybe I was watching the wrong version of it or something, but am I correct that all of that is just shown in this quick flashback that's narrated by the Valkyrian spirit that gives Red Sonja her powers? Because that's the version I saw, where you don't actually see these things happen. You see them in a flashback.
In
and
the version I saw, you see the like her family being killed, and then you see the queen. I always forget her name. I just want to say Queen Bavmorda because that's the queen from fucking Willow.
It's Gendra or something like that, isn't it? It's something like that.
And she orders the guys, and then you just see Sonja like writhing around, going no, no, no. Which, and I apologize for any assault victims out there. I know I'm doing you a disservice, but
maybe I saw the TV version, because the one I saw starts with the house burning, and then a voice over from the spirit that gives Sonja her superpowers. Yeah. And then the voice actually says, "Hey, Sonja, I've been watching you, and your family got killed, and you were attacked. And it's so weird. It's because why are you telling Sonia?
I
But
would,
she
I
lived
would
through this shit.
I would love if that was the way the voice. Hey, Sonia, I've been watching you. You well.
It's kind of like that. It actually kind. And I thought that was the
That was,
weirdest
I think,
one.
that was the cut for TV version
It
because
must have been
the
the cut for TV
actual
version.
Because
version shows
me and
her.
Luke saw the same version on YouTube,
Yeah.
and like I said, it felt very much like watching a film in the '80s on TV where they'd cut all the cool bits out.
Yeah, it
Doesn't
did feel a
diminish
bit.
from the story. Doesn't diminish from the story.
Mm.
So
No, but it
so
diminishes from the visuals.
exactly. But so Hugh, what's your like? Was look, compare it to Conan the Barbarian. It's unfair to do that. I mean, Conan the Barbarian is written by Oliver Stone and
Yeah.
John Milius, legendary Hollywood figures. I can't remember the guys who wrote Red Sonja.
I
I know
only
one of
know
them
that the guy that
wrote a character
directed
called
the guy that
Flashman.
directed Red Sonja directed Soylent Green
I know. And
Oh,
like
really?
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea
and
Oh, shit.
Fantastic Voyage.
and Tora, Tora, Tora. I know he
Yeah, I
directed a
know.
lot of great shit. So I don't know what the fuck happened here. Something went wrong. Something
It's
went
got to
really
be,
wrong.
yeah. You know what though? The character of Red Sonja.
Mhm.
Okay, a lot of people say the character of Red Sonja was created by Robert E. Howard because Robert E. Howard created Conan,
I thought that was the case. Yeah.
Call the Conqueror. Uh, Red Sonja, he created Red Sonja of Rogatino was the name of the
Mm.
story. And it was in 1973 when Roy Thomas, the comic writer Roy Thomas, and Barry Windsor Smith, the acclaimed Incredible Hulk artist, brought Red Sonja into the Marvel universe by combining her with the existing Conan comics. So that's how Red
Holy
Sonja
shit.
became
Okay.
Red Sonja. So,
Okay. Okay.
and the movie
So,
is based on the 1973 comic adaptation as opposed to the Robert E. Howard. Even though in the movie it says created by Robert E. Howard,
mm.
that's taking a bit of liberties there.
Okay. So I don't know. Can you speak to whether this is a decent adaptation of the comic character, or
It's a decent adaptation of the character, but it's its own story.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that your issue with the opening is the weird contrast between we meet Red Sonja and then it's 10 minutes of Conan awkwardly riding around on a
riding
horse
around on a fucking
towards
horse. Yeah.
towards we don't know what, but he from what I remember, he at that point he's riding, and you're also seeing this weird temple where the
So
cultist priestesses
he's
are.
he's so he's riding to that temple because they're doing that ritual because they've got that fucking talisman that's going to destroy the
Yeah.
world unless they put it into darkness.
Yeah.
And he's riding there to be part of that ritual, and then he gets to that thing and the bridge is cut, so he's got to go around. And then they're like, "Oh, he's not here. Let's just do it anyway." And so they do it, and it closes really slowly, and then the enemy comes in and they kill all the chicks, and then Sonya's sister flees on a flying fox, which just happens to be over the gorge.
I thought that was
there.
hilarious. I don't know why flying fox was the method of escape, and I don't know why it didn't give her an advantage. She uses a flying fox. The rest of the bad
They
guys
just turn up.
They just appear, and that shit keeps happening in this fucking movie. Like that
It
just
does.
keeps fucking happening.
It does.
But I have to say as well, the cult priestesses, I think their death might be the most gruesome death in all three of the quote unquote Conan movies. They're thrown into a pit
That's
and
right.
then
Yeah.
crushed to death.
Yeah.
They're not crushed to death. It's perpetual darkness. They're thrown into the pit, and then it closes over them, and it's because they're trying to get that amulet out of the light.
Oh, I misunderstood. In that case,
They're
it's not
not
the most brutal
crushed.
death.
They're
It's
just left in darkness.
They're just drama queens then, because they
Yeah, they're like, no,
scream like
no, it's
banshees.
dark. Oh, hey, I don't have to do my makeup. This is cool.
But did you hear the sounds they were making when they were in the hole?
It was
Yeah.
very weird.
Yeah.
The tonal.
Yeah.
I had to turn that down. I was worried what my neighbors might think.
No, I turned it up.
I had headphones and I didn't give a crap.
Is it just it could just be me, but you know the evil queen's right hand man, that white haired looking fucker.
Yeah, the guy that looked like the evil dude from Princess Bride who switches the poison cups.
No, when I first saw him, and I forgot all about him until I watched it again the other night. As soon as I saw him, all I could see was Benny Hill.
His
God.
performance, I think his performance in a strong field was one of the worst. Like, he didn't care what movie he was in. He didn't care what his line. He's like the most nonchalant delivery I've ever heard in a film in my life.
I would go so far as to say the little kid's bodyguard. You know, the little kid is always abusing that guy's like,
we need to talk about that in a separate
that little
discussion.
fucker from the 80s show.
Those two characters
Sidekicks.
need their own. They need their own discussion.
He was from what show?
Sidekicks.
Sidekicks?
Yeah, it was a show in the 80s about a little kid, Asian kid, who knew karate or something.
All I know from Sidekicks is that Chuck Norris movie.
Rest in peace.
No, it wasn't a movie. This is a TV show.
Yeah, and don't say rest in peace because Chuck Norris was an asshole. Sorry, people out there who love Chuck Norris, but he was an asshole.
God damn it, you!
Jane told me a funny. She goes, "They're already doing memes about him," and I went, "Oh yeah." I did. I thought this was pretty funny. She goes, "Chuck Norris died." Well, the meme said Chuck Norris died 20 years ago, but no one was game enough to tell him. Sorry, Chuck.
Yeah, I mean, who else just died? Xander from Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Yeah.
Been a rough 48 hours.
I know. I had to watch Red Sonja. It's been a rough 48 hours.
So, all right. So after the temple, I think I was totally confused because one of the temple priestesses turns out to be Red Sonja's sister.
Yep.
And she escapes by flying fox, but she's mortally wounded. And that's how Calidor, or whatever his name is, comes into contact with our title character.
Yep. With Red Sonja. He goes to that Bruce Lee Enter the Dragon temple thing where the old Asian guy is like, "Oh, you've done very well. I will give you a weapon." And she chooses a sword. And then
what's weird is
she
doesn't just choose the sword. She the mysterious voice tells her pick the big one.
Yeah.
The voice comes in like 3 times, and one of them is just say, pick the big sword. She's like, all right.
Then Calidor's like, your sister is dying. I'll take you to her. And she's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Wait. I think you also need to mention how many flags the samurai master wears on his person at all times.
Oh, yes.
Covered in fucking flags for some reason.
What I've got to mention is the fact that to get out of that arena, they've got to ride underneath a statue that looks like he's doing a shit.
Yeah. I mean, it looks
Yeah.
great, but it does look like that too.
Like, it looks like that guy is gonna, they're gonna ride under, and the sewage from the temple is just gonna fall on their fucking heads.
Yeah, I'm sure it has some symbolic meaning to the samurai who are training there. To lead here, you must be shat on and blah blah blah.
And yet none of them are Asian except for these swordsmen.
Or he's traveled a long way to be there.
I mean,
By
he
flag.
looks like an extra from a Tarantino film.
But it's also very reminiscent of Conan the Barbarian, when Conan is
Yeah.
still a slave, but he's taught by the sword masters
Yes.
all that shit, you know?
And if you actually read the novels, he does go to various countries and learn their, like he goes to Kitai and learns how to be like the horse riding bowman and things like that. So that's kind of
That's right. And one of the things that you have to adapt to really quickly for this in this movie is the idea that, yeah, Red Sonja is she's been granted this super strength. She's basically unstoppable.
Yeah.
And that has pros and cons. Like, one of the pros is that it makes sense that she can beat the fuck out of everybody. But on the downside, you're never really concerned that she's going to lose because she's fucking invincible. Nobody can beat her.
It's every James Bond film.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless you want to root her and she sort of wants, you know, she has
that's
this weird
another thing
attraction to you anyway. It's like, you know,
Yeah, there's
man can't
one
touch me
point.
that you beat me in a fair fight. Like, yeah, right.
Yeah, there's one point though where someone touches her and she shrugs him off, and then Caldor touches her on the shoulder, and she's like, okay, like it's just.
This movie could almost be a like a proto-feminist film.
I was thinking that.
Yeah,
and
because
I was gonna bring that up, but yeah, go and I'll tell you.
Well, let me know what you think, because you know she can beat.
Well, obviously, now in this day and age of the woke things and, you know, the Disney shit, you know, if they'd made that version of the film now, it would just be absolutely fucking hand on law. This is woke shit. You know, only a woman can touch it and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But watching it as a kid in the 80s, you had no concept of any of that shit.
No, that's right. You're absolutely right. If they made it now, everyone would just say, "Oh, this is woke shit," blah blah blah. But there are some weird contradictory like. Got this power. With the samurai master, he actually says to her, "Look, now you are the master of masters. There's nothing more we can teach you. You're better than everybody. You're the best warrior in the world." And then he says, "But you got to learn to like men."
Yeah, we're not all bad or some shit like yeah. And what does he say to him? And then he sort of gets like this little semi and goes, "Oh, that would have been music to my ears 20 years ago."
Oh, that's right.
What the fuck?
Like, she says,
you dirty old prick.
Yeah, she's looking at him. She's like, "I don't hate all men." And he's like,
that's it, yeah.
20 years ago, that would have been music to my ears. It's like, what the fuck?
And she's cool with that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the master, you know?
Yeah, hey.
But then, as you say,
he's got that cool, sexy beard. I'll let him do me.
He's covered in flags. And then Conan turns up and he's like, "Okay, your sister's dying. You must come with me.
I'll take you to her." Yeah.
Yeah. And she doesn't even say good. She's like, "All right, see ya." And she didn't even say anything to the
yeah, they just ride off.
It just fuck off.
What the fuck happened or anything like that. Okay.
And I think this is one of the key moments where I realized nobody thought at all about this script, because he takes her to her dying sister and he's like, "Hey, Red Sonja, here's your sister." And her sister is dying and says to her, "Destroy the amulet. Got to destroy the amulet." And then she dies. And then Conan says, "Oh, she's dead." And then Red Sonja gets up and looks at him, even though he's just, and she goes, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, don't you remember? I'm your sister's friend."
Yeah. I'm your friend too, or
How did you
something.
forget that?
Yeah.
And then she looks at the next line is she looks in the distance and she sees this town burning. She goes, "What's the name of that town?" And he's like, he says the name of it. And then she just starts riding off and he goes, "Where are you going?" She goes, "Oh, to the town." So, where the fuck do you think she's going? She just asked you what the name of that town. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, now we're getting up to the point where we meet, I think, the worst part about this whole fucking movie, where we are introduced to the prince and his fucking manservant.
He's oaf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are easily the two most annoying characters in all of Conan related media.
No, I would agree with that.
Like if there's one thing that makes this film irredeemable, like, categorically worse than Conan the Destroyer, it's the prince. It's the characters. It's the prince and his oath.
I think the mistake they made is not showing the prince's ability early on, because we do get, like, he has the martial arts skills and stuff. We do get that, but at the beginning, he's just a whiny little shit boy.
He's a whiny, arrogant asshole. He's a little shit, and he remains that throughout the entire. Like, I get what you're saying. He does redeem himself
until he thinks he's going to get some pussy. Basically,
Yeah,
he starts teaching him how to hold a fucking sword, and he's like, I'm, and all of a sudden he's like got this little fucking boner for her.
I think the prince's boner is one of the most disturbing. Like, I'm calling it that, but it's not literally. But his boner for Bridget Nielsen's character, for Red Sonja, is one of the most disturbing parts of this whole fucking the most disturbing part of the whole movie. Like, I know we're leaping ahead here a bit, but you've already sort of hinted at this, Ian. Sonja can only have relations with a man that defeats her in fair combat.
Yes.
When she first tells not Conan that, he immediately says, they're out in the bush, they're out in the forest, and he immediately says, "All right, do you want to have a fair fight right now then?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah, let's do it." And they start having a fair fight, and the kid is in the background, and he's watching, and he's getting really excited, and it's like he's watching them,
and defensive, because he intervenes.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you like? He's like, it's fucking so 9. Uncomfortable. Like, I know we all had, fucking crushes on famous folk back in the day. We'd watch films and go, "Oh, she's fucking hot." But this is just something else. This is just weird, real weird.
It's very weird. It's uncomfortable. It's unpleasant, and you're stacking that on top of the fact that the character is an annoying little shit as well. It's too much.
That's
no
it.
film.
I'm going to have to go back and watch an episode of Sidekicks just to reinforce the fact that he's an annoying little shit.
Yeah, it was a hard watch. That part was a hard watch.
Oh, look, with all that said, like, I mean, I know we're not at the end of the review or anything, or the end of the film, but I still enjoyed the majority of it. Like, it was just fun. Didn't have to think too much.
I mean, after that point, because there's all crap in the middle that we didn't touch on, like Bridget Nielsen, like Red Sonja, comes across them in that ruined city, and she moves the hand that he's kind of balanced on because the fat guy can't move it, and all
Mhm.
this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All these kind of fantasy tropes. And then you get to the end of this fucking movie where they go up, they're trying to get that the talisman that can only be held by a fucking woman, and it's creating storms and all of this kind of shit. And it gets thrown into the river of lava along with Queen Bavmorda from Willow, whatever the fuck her name is. Who gives a shit at this point?
Yeah.
But what I do want to bring up right now, the castle exploding at the end of the film.
Yeah.
How many times does the same part of the castle explode in the span of 10 minutes?
Oh, several.
Because the top
I-
explodes, then the bottom, then the top is back again, and the bottom's there, but the top explodes again. Then the
It's
middle
like the money
explodes
shot.
for some reason. It was
Yeah.
literally Michael Bay filming Red Sonja.
Now, Hugh, I
Well,
have
thank
to
fuck
give
he
the
didn't.
film- Yeah, well, I have to give the film credit here in defense of the film. That was fine. That was for dramatic purposes. It was
Oh,
not literal. But I would say this. I would say what you've skipped over there is a couple of things which I think are the real cardinal sins of the film, other than the prince and his handler, the Yove, and that is the fight when they attack the castle.
yeah.
They have a fight. It's like a big set piece scene where not Conan and Sonja and the prince and his handler are fighting that mechanical
The
snake,
crocodile-like
Oh,
thing?
yeah. Yes.
and it goes on, and
Yeah.
it's this creature that the evil sorceress has got her wizard to control, and it wakes up, and it's kind of, there's parallels in the other Conan films, like when Conan fights the wrestling monster in the Hall
In
of
the mirror
Mirrors.
fucking thing and
Mirror.
Yeah. Or when Conan fights in Conan the Barbarian fights the giant snake or whatever, it's kind of got some parallels there. But this is the most boring version of that. It's a mechanical, in the story, it's a mechanical snake dragon thing. They're all in like hip deep water. They all climb out of range of it, and then Conan jumps on it and is literally just riding around on it for 10 minutes. And then he just says, I can't kill it. It's mechanical.
he says it's a machine.
And that's right. It's a
How does
machine.
he know what a
Thank you.
machine is?
Because he's a Terminator. Wasn't the first Terminator done by then?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It's a
But
reference.
he's fucking
Product
stabbing it.
And then they have to pry its eyes out? Like that's
Yeah,
gonna kill it?
blind it. Yeah.
I don't get
Well,
it.
they didn't
Does
kill
does
it. They didn't kill it.
No.
Yeah, they
They blinded the
kill
poor
it.
fucker.
And then see, this is one of the big things about, in my opinion, the drag of this movie is that both Calidor, or whatever his name is, and Red Sonja, they can't lose. They just, none of the enemies are really any challenge for them. You know what I mean? Like, does anyone put up much of a like the last act of the film? The three main enemies that they face, all three of them are doors that are difficult to open. Like three times they have to open doors, which are difficult.
Yeah, and at one point, Caldor
That's
does
not,
it with his shoulders. And you're like,
That's
yeah,
right.
use your
but
arms.
that's not an
dude.
adequate enemy for a sword and sorcery film. You
A
can't do
boulder.
that.
Hmm.
Once they get through the door, they fucking just massacre whoever's on the other end. No problem. The
Yeah,
doors are the main
that's a fair.
enemy. By the time the castle was exploding, I was just happy it was fucking over. Tell you the truth, I wanted to see that place blow up as many times as possible.
So you've not watched Red Sonja 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Well, I will tell you this: every complaint I had about Red Sonja 1985 edition, the, the new one's even worse. The remake is worse than this movie.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I could not. I watched 10 minutes of it and I was like, no.
I sat through the whole thing.
So did I.
It's not the worst film I've ever seen, but it's
No.
certainly I certainly wouldn't revisit it again.
No, it's just one of the most unpleasant experiences you can have from a film.
Yeah.
It's
I'll
just
agree with
nothing
that.
about it. Nothing about it is it's like they wanted to punish people for watching it. I don't understand.
Okay, so with our first Plaguelands Media movie review, I would like to get your 1 out of 10 scores. Luke, Red Sonja, 1985, 1 out of 10.
No, I'm giving it 2 out of 10. And,
2
and
out of 10.
I tell you what, one of those stars for one of those, I don't know, you didn't say stars, but one of those stars is for
Margaret fucking
art.
Pomerantz.
No, it's for the art. I think the paintings and the sets in this actually are really interesting. Like that bridge of the dead
Yeah.
dragon or whatever it was that they have to cry. That shit looks good. And they should have done better by the artists involved in this film with the script, with the performances. So yeah, 2 out of 10.
Okay, 2 out of 10 from Luke. Mr. Ian Van Gammet.
Oh, look, I'm gonna give it a 6, purely on nostalgic purposes. Oh, look, it's a fun film. Like, you don't have to think too much. Just sit back and watch it, like you did when you were a kid. You know,
Mhm.
I think now that we're of age, our opinions are sort of, influenced by modern stuff.
Sensibilities and shit. We bring
Yeah,
our
all
own experiences to.
that sort of shit. But as a fucking 10-year-old kid watching that for the first time, it was fucking great.
Yeah.
Would I watch it again? Probably. It's certainly not in a hurry. I think I'd go back and watch the two Conan films before that, and I have. I think I watched them both within the last 12 months. Again. Fuck, I've got the posters hanging on my wall, for fuck's sake. Like, Hugh?
Okay. For me, I'm going to give this one 7 out of 10. Purely, as Ian said, nostalgia. I love the character, and it's purely for the fact that a lot of the history of the character from the Marvel comics from the 70s, I've kind of gone into and whatnot. So it's like, as a film, if I was judging this purely on a film perspective, it's a 1 out of 10. Like, this film sucks. But character-wise, lore-wise, nostalgia-wise, I've got to give it a 7. I have to do it like that. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I love the character. I love the story. Filmatically, it's a piece of shit, but if you know what you're getting into, it's a good ride. It's a fun ride. That's all there is to it. So that is my final score. 7 out of 10. Does anyone have any final thoughts before we wrap up this first film review video? Luke, anything you want to say?
No, I'm sympathetic to both of your positions, and I get the nostalgia factor. And look, as I said, I had all this negativity about it, and then I chucked on the very recent Red Sonja remake, and I felt like, yeah, I could have totally inverted everything I thought on the basis of how bad that was. So I agree with you in that respect.
You stand by your score, though, which is perfectly
I stand by
acceptable.
my 2 out of 10.
Yep. Ian, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, just go watch the first 2 Conan films. Treat yourself.
Okay, with that said, everyone, thank you very much for watching the first Plaguelands Media movie review. There will be more coming in the future. With that said, please stay safe. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And as always, why not? Watch a fucking movie, people.